Happy Sunday. I want you guys to listen to this segment on First Take. Stephen A. was answering a question. The question got posed, how does Colin Kaepernick look now that he's settled his grievance with the NFL? And if you don't know who Stephen A. is, he's an African-American sports journalist on ESPN, co-host of a show called First Take. But I think here again, this illustrates why it's so hard to unify in the black community. It's called jealousy and envy and ego.
To answer the question directly, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think he looks very good, and I don't think the people who have supported and tried to martyr him look very, very good. Let me be very, very clear about it.
First of all, how can you not look good when you stand up against police brutality, systemic racism, and oppression? How do you not look good? It's impossible not to look good when that's what you do, regardless of the motivation. But in this case, I don't believe the motivation was of an ill intent.
About that. Having said all of that, as a black man, his willingness to bring attention to issues that have plagued our community, I'm incredibly grateful to him for that, which is why I have supported him. I also believe...
Right there, he contradicted himself. He's a hypocrite. He said, that's why I have supported him. From day one, he didn't support, but then when the support grew for Colin, he joined that bandwagon. And then when Colin came out and said he didn't vote, he found his way. He was looking for that dagger. He was looking for that bullet he needed to shoot at him and try to assassinate his character. And that's what he did. He tried to use the I don't vote thing to assassinate Colin Kaepernick's character, but it didn't work because even with that, he still went on to gain more support, and he ultimately became the face of a Nike campaign, rallying around whatever you believe in. Stand for it. Stand for what you believe in.
That he has been blackballed. I don't care what anybody says. I definitely think that there is credence to that argument. But I'm going to tell you exactly why I don't think that he looks good. I don't know whether it was the Washington Post or where it was that I read this article, Max and Will, but there was a statement in there. There's a line in there, and it said, whether it was Washington Post, New York Times, I forget where it was. It says, justice and liberty dies in the dark. Well,
so because you don't know how much money he got in his settlement, justice and liberty has died because the amount of money is in the dark. That don't even make sense. The fact that he got money is a sign of justice.
Here's where the problem lies. What did you win, Colin Kaepernick? I want to know the money. I want to know what the details of the settlement are.
And to me, he only wants to know because he's still looking for bullets so he can continue to take shots trying to assassinate this man's character. If he find out the money and everything like that, he can now start trying to paint the narrative that the man was, that the whole protest in itself was self-motivating and he was a sellout, and it wasn't about the cause, it was about him.
That's what I want to know. You don't sit up there and get martyred by everybody and their grandmother. All of these over the last 2 years, with everybody making a case about how he's being blackballed, he's being ostracized, and all of this other stuff. You don't get to sit up there and send out tweets thanking Rihanna and other stars who refused to perform at halftime for the Super Bowl in protest in support of you, because their belief was that you have been blackballed. And there's a nation of folks, particularly from the minority community, that have been standing up, screaming, hooting, and hollering about how you have been ostracized, how you have been mistreated. And then all of a sudden you quietly reach a settlement and we don't know what the hell it entails. That's my problem with all of this. It says here, as part of that confidentiality agreement, it is believed both sides signed a non-disclosure agreement agreeing not to speak publicly about the details of the case or the settlement. So we don't know what the owners have sacrificed. We don't know what concessions have been reached. We don't know whether you're the sole individual that benefits. The causes that you wanted to bring attention to, that you were insistent that the NFL and society as a whole addresses. We don't know whether or not NFL owners, the league, the Players Association
See, I'm going to stop him right there. I think you guys heard enough, but I'm going to say this. The man protested because he felt like, and I won't even say he protested. I think the man just felt in his heart he couldn't honor the flag. He couldn't honor the flag that represented a country and a nation that oppressed poor people, that practiced systemic racism, and that allowed police officers to kill unarmed people without having any accountability for it. No one was doing anything about the problem. And until he saw a change, he couldn't honor the flag. He didn't once ask the NFL or insist the NFL do anything about the injustice. It wasn't about the NFL doing anything about it because they're not really the governing body over this nation that implements policy and law to hold people accountable for certain criminal acts. So I don't believe it was about the NFL doing anything. As far as him filing a grievance, anybody that works in this economy, you have discrimination laws, you have unfair practices that happen in the workplace that leaves a company susceptible to lawsuit. If they don't hire you or they discriminate against you, won't hire you because of race, color, creed, gender, different things of this nature, they are violating a law. He felt like he was being discriminated against or blackballed because he exercised his right to protest, to kneel, and to not salute the flag. He felt like he was being blackballed. So his grievance was about his livelihood. It wasn't about the protest. So that's a private matter between him and his employer. It is not for public record. The two are not the same. They're two different issues. The protest is one issue. His grievance is about his employment. To me, Stephen A., he sounds like he's jealous. He sounds like he's hating on the brother. He sounds like he's envious. And I think that he wishes that he was beloved throughout the black community and actually throughout the country like Colin Kaepernick is. Y'all have a blessed day, man. And we just got to do better. It's that ego. The ego is driving out dysfunction. We got to overcome the ego. And when we do, then we'll be able to uplift one another. But honestly speaking, you have people that look just like you that don't want to see you have what they have. Some people want to gain access and they don't want others to have that same access because they want to have something that you don't have. They want to be in a place that they feel like you can't obtain. People want to feel like they're accomplishing something that no one else can accomplish. And unfortunately, that's what's in some of us. We don't want to see everybody on equal footing. Not even people that look just like we do. One love.